Hi everyone. Now I thought I'd do a vlog about my mental health to balance out the gaming stuff in my channel. I should say that this isn't going to become my channel. Normal service will resume shortly, and if you just want to watch me game, then this probably isn't the video for you. But about the only way that I've found that actually helps me is by reaching out. So here we go. Now I should start with my mental health diagnoses. Although in New Zealand they don't actually like to formally diagnose you with things, so I should say that these are all what they call, I don't know, placeholder diagnoses, probable diagnoses, I'm not sure what they call it, but yeah, basically, I think at the moment they've diagnosed me with psychotic depression, or depression with psychotic features is what it's called, anxiety not otherwise specified, and I'm not sure. They told me I had traits of borderline personality disorder, which I don't think matches me perfectly, but it does explain self-harm and stuff like that. Basically, I'm not sure I actually have these conditions, so I can't say that living with them is easy or hard. But certainly, I'm barely hanging on at the moment, and it's just kind of so I should start with a little bit of my history. At the start of high school, I was still very hardworking. I exercised a hell of a lot. I was very healthy. I went to school, did all my homework, all the stuff like that. I didn't have many friends at high school. It probably wasn't the right high school for me, so I started getting quite lonely. And gradually, over time, depression started kicking in. Got involved with some people that, I never really developed drug habits or anything like that, but I tried to get involved with a cool group. It didn't really work, and it's a really short description of my high school years, but I'll skip right forward to when weird things started happening. Now, when I went to university, the stress obviously kicked in. I was having a lot of caffeine, losing a lot of sleep. It was the introduction to engineering. So my parents always wanted me to be an engineer. I didn't cope with stress very healthily. I would run constantly, not eating anything, and I'd stress my body with huge amounts of caffeine, very little sleep, trying to study in any way I can, and very soon reality started kind of slipping a little bit. I started getting involved with some very weird paranormal things on the internet. I started seeing things that weren't there. I had some demons that I'd see. One of them I'd call Syl, and the other one called Jasper. They'd follow me around. I'd get very freaked out. I spend large periods of time on campus just running away from these things. And then eventually I thought that the cops were after me. Yeah, I thought the cops were after me. I thought there was a sniper at the university trying to kill me. I thought I'd done all these evil things, and so I knew I had to get some sort of medical help for it, because otherwise I'd completely slip away. Now they put me on a week of benzos, temazepam, and then they started me on antidepressant because I didn't want to start antipsychotics because I'd worried that they'd make me fat and stupid. So I kind of calmed down at that point because for whatever reason I had a really strong reaction to this antidepressant and it worked brilliantly. It felt like, I assume, ecstasy felt like, except 24/7. I got into nursing, studying for that. I worked really hard. I was really happy. And then eventually nursing fell apart because I found out that the stress of the work environment wasn't really for me at all. But at that point I decided that I was well mentally, so I went off all my meds. And I was okay for about a year. And then gradually stuff started, gradually, my mood always goes downhill first. So about, would have been 2015, I sought help again. I got on a different antidepressant this time, meclobamide, because I said that I thought that just like before, an antidepressant would pretty much fix me, but no, I just kept getting more suicidal and stuff. And eventually I started getting delusional. They put me on too high a dose of fluoxetine, and everything started falling apart again. And what's more, I'd started self-harming because I didn't have the willpower for exercise anymore, and self-harm seemed to chill me out in about the same way, so got into that. About the start of this year, things got particularly bad, and I started breaking from reality again. They put me on. I finally gave in and started taking risperidone, which is an antipsychotic, and it really was mind-blowing the way it just doped me out. It did make everything feel more real. And along with vaping a fair amount of nicotine, I sort of was able to handle the reduced concentration. I mean, my university obviously fell off, but at that point I didn't care anymore. But it wasn't really enough to fix my mood, so I doubled my dose of risperidone and I started self-harming again. And eventually I ended up in Hillmorton, which they call a mental hospital here. They thought that the high dose of antidepressant that I'd given had driven me completely nuts. So they took me to Hillmorton. I should say that it was actually voluntary. It wasn't involuntary at all. And Hillmorton, I spent a lot of time outside vaping. They let me go for walks around the grounds. It wasn't actually too bad. They checked on you every hour, even when you were sleeping. You weren't allowed cords or anything. You weren't allowed cell phone chargers. You had to charge your phone in the office. I remember there was a guy there, and he told me he'd been in for 3 months, and he was going to be in for 3 months more. But he actually was delusional, and he'd only been there for a couple of weeks. And he told me that they took him in because there was moss growing on his chest, and he'd stayed in his room for ages trying to get this moss off his chest, and it's a bit strange. Also, a lady went into my room sometime in the morning asking for smokes. She was just standing in my room, and I woke up, and it was quite creepy. And basically what these women would do is they'd go around in the morning screaming at people if they didn't get smokes from them. I'd obviously been through quite a bit, and I don't know, for whatever reason, they had to keep them really doped up on their morning meds to actually keep them functioning. Well, not really functioning, they'd just stumble around like they'd had a few bottles of wine or something like that. But, at least they didn't cause any trouble. Anyway, I got out of Hillmorton. Eventually I got into a relationship with someone I love. Unfortunately, the self-harm got bad again. Then I should say that there's another thing that's really stressing me out, that I'm not going to go into in this video because it's linked to my Facebook and I don't want too many people knowing at the moment. But yeah, there's that. I had some issues with my parents, so I did some cutting. I mean, it wasn't extreme cutting, but I still have the scars from it. And basically, they'd given me another antidepressant that didn't work, and then my mood just got worse and worse. I went off it, my mood got even worse, and which says that the antidepressant was at least dulling my mood a little bit. But they finally put me on a med that works, and then it was okay. I was okay for a while. I should say that I got into volunteering a little bit because I just don't have the focus so much at all at the moment. I can't really handle stress without breaking down. So yeah, things were okay-ish until about a month ago when I had to go into respite again. There was some relationship stuff going on that I don't really want to go into either because it's sensitive. But met some interesting people in respite, started smoking. There's an interesting story. There was some guy in there, I assume he had schizophrenia or something, because he'd tell all these really strange stories. He had some, yeah, of course you don't ask people what they're diagnosed with. I had a rose quartz crystal that I was showing him. I was showing him all my rocks, and he took my rose quartz and he looked at it and he said, "Don't look at it too hard. The angles break your back." So I thought, like, some of the shit he said was pretty interesting. But then he came to smoke with me one time. I took up smoking while I was in there, which I'm trying to quit. Unfortunately, it's the only thing that helps my mood at the moment. Like, I don't really know. Like, I stopped caring about my physical health so much because the only thing that I care about is feeling okay. But anyway, this guy came, sat with me. He said, "What do you know?" And then I'm like, "Very little." And then he says, "Oh, I thought so." I just thought that was quite rude. Anyway, this guy could be a dick if he was in the mood. I also saw he also used to shower with the door unlocked, and I went in there one time, and yeah, I went. I was a bit upset because I saw some things I didn't want to see. But yeah, he was very eccentric. Anyway, now I'm out of respite, and if you want to know what medications I'm currently on, I'm on 2 milligrams of risperidone, although I can take 2.5 or 3 per day. I can take 0.5 up to 2.5 tablets a day if I'm feeling particularly crap, and to be honest, it's probably the best thing that helps me actually function. And when I say function, I don't mean work or anything like that. I mean I can actually do stuff and without getting overwhelmed. And I'm also on 100 milligrams of sertraline. They won't put it any higher because they're worried that I'll go a bit funny again. So sertraline's an antidepressant. It's an SSRI. They don't want to give me anything other than SSRIs because apparently I'm not depressed enough or anything else. Which I find interesting. It's very hard to actually get a psychiatrist to say that you're depressed these days, especially through the. I mean, it's easy to have a GP say you're depressed and they'll give you pretty much anything you want, but psychiatrists are a lot more careful. Maybe I'm depressed, maybe not. Maybe I just have a borderline personality and I manipulate people and everything like that. I don't know. Anyway, in regards to work study, I mean, by work, I can study. I mean, I might get into study. I'm not sure. It'll have to be halfway through this year, so I'm not up to it at the moment. I'd probably go and do a trade like IT or something. So I was studying computer science before, but I just can't. I can't seem to deal with abstract stuff anymore. I used to be a top like math student. I wasn't by top. I mean, I used to be able to do it quite easily and get really good grades. but then it started falling off because I just can't deal with the pace that they expect you to learn at uni. So maybe if I pick up a trade or something, I'll be okay. At the moment, I'm just volunteering with intellectually disabled people, and at St John Ambulance, just as one of their youth leaders. So I basically, it's like being a scout leader or something like that. So that's about as much as I can handle at the moment. Otherwise, I've found YouTube incredibly helpful. Just gives me an incentive to play video games anymore. And video games really do help your mood if you can't do much else. And now I actually have an incentive. So like I have a diary of the video games that I've played, and other people can watch them if they want. So I've found it very helpful. I know I'm never going to get big or anything like that, but you know, met some interesting people already, so yeah. And I've got written on my little notepad document here, finding meaning. So obviously I can't really find meaning from the work that I do at the moment. Maybe I'll be able to get into mental health advocacy or something like that, but just finding meaning in anything is just so important in mental illness. Just anything. If there's any advice that I would give, it's that just make that your top priority, finding something that means something to you and just working on it just whenever you're in the right headspace. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of articles and stuff on mental illness these days, but often they give the impression that, you just get help and they're able to fix you. That's not what it's about. They can't fix anything. They can kind of help you give you the right medications to start to make you more balanced and stuff like that, but they can't fix anything, and they know they can't fix anything. And I know people have been hurt by the mental health system. So the other piece of advice I'd give is just try and empower yourself in any way you can. Just look at what medications do. I mean, like the pharmacology of them, how they interact with the neurotransmitters in your brain. Just find some kind of self-help stuff that resonates with you, because this is something that you can get all the help that you can, but it just takes time. It just takes a lot of time, and quite often, I wouldn't trade my experiences for the world. I should talk more about my second psychotic break, because I kind of brushed over that. I remember thinking that there were just dead bodies lining the street everywhere. I thought that something really bad was about to happen, and there were demons that wanted me to do a kind of ritual suicide thing at a particular place. And also there was, I went and told the GP at my university that there was a voice telling me where the dead bodies are buried at a particular place. So it was quite alarming, and when it's easy to brush it off, but say what you think, because on a level I always knew that this stuff wasn't real, and they'd always tell me that it wasn't a proper psychotic break because I still had some kind of awareness, but it's just really hard to actually function. Go to work and study and all of that stuff where any sort of stress seems to just shatter me. It just alters like my perception of reality and stuff like that. So I'm chronically lazy at the moment, but there's a reason for that. And yeah, it's just all quite hard. Anyway, thanks for watching if anyone did. I can do more of these videos, but this will always be a gaming channel. If you like these videos and you like my gaming as well, then it's probably going to be the right channel for you. There's some stuff that I'm not going to go into, which I'll probably come out with in a future video. Now's just not the right time. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm sorry this isn't edited or anything like that. It's a vlog at heart. So, yeah, like and subscribe if you're interested in this stuff at all, because there will be more of it, but you have to understand that there'll be a lot of gaming videos as well, so don't subscribe if you don't want that stuff in your feed.